so beautiful.
What's going on, guys? It is May 12th, 5 a.m. Central. Welcome to the Crypto News Network. And what we're covering here is what's going on in the crypto space. So, this is like an update that we have, and let's take a look at something very interesting here. We're looking at Bitcoin here. Now, Bitcoin is staying on top of its zone here, dropping down, staying bouncing off the middle of this wedge here. Now, the interesting about this is anytime that happens, Bitcoin normally, after this type of retrace, will go on a run. So the question is, thinking about this in every single way, and people have ideas of what's happening, but let's cover some things that are causing prices to do this. And one of the biggest things is, we had where the Feds are going to announce today in 3 hours the CPI, going to let us know about inflation numbers. If it's above 7.5, it's probably going to be a red day, theoretically. Now, the more I look at that, the more I think to myself, like, I like an alt season, right? Now, the problem is, taking a look at that, here we have a breakdown of what they call the outflow, right? Crypto funds see largest outflow since January. This came out yesterday at 12:21. So this isn't FUD. This isn't the markets being manipulated by the whales inside the market. This is actual money leaving the market. So when we take a look at here, 134 million in outflows marked the second worst week in the year for the funds that manage the assets investments. Bitcoin related products took the lion's share of outflows at 131.8 million of redemptions. Short Bitcoin investment products, which bet on making profits when Bitcoin's price declines, saw inflows totaling 2 million, their largest inflow on record. Interesting. The reversal came after the price of Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalized, rose to 48,000. I told you guys, if you're watching my videos weeks ago, when Bitcoin hit 39,000 and started to run, is that it would go to 48,000 and reject. Now, the rejection should have been to about 44,000, and we're seeing a rejection all the way down from where it took off, which is a little bit different than what should have happened. But when you take in consideration that there's no money, there's no tax money, there's no stimulus money, gas is 200% more a gallon, some places 300% more. There's a lot going on out there that affects the retail investor from getting into the space and spending money, because that's who basically was feeding it. Now with industrial companies coming in, mass adoption coming in here, even though they want to get in here, it doesn't mean they're buying as much as they should, because they also have traders on the board, and traders wouldn't be getting into this type of pattern that we were just looking at, because they would want to see it rise up, retest, get rejected, retest, and make another rise. Now, what they believe the price appreciation of the previous week may have prompted the investors to take profits, right? Because what was reported is lower daily trading volumes. And this is the problem. This is what I was talking about right here. The lower daily volumes down to 2.3 billion. Then the average also suggests that there isn't significant stress among investors, meaning it's not enough money coming in here for people to look at this and stay trading in and out of the market, because there's no money to be made. And so all this money that came into the market were investors, right? And if cryptocurrency isn't a market where they can make money, they take their money and move it to other markets where they can make money, because that's what they do. They use money to make money. So funds focused on Ethereum also lost 15.3 million in outflows, which is a big difference in comparison. You have Bitcoin outflows at 131 million, Ethereum outflows 15.3 million in outflows. That gives me the idea that they're also thinking altcoin season, right? Which brought the year-to-date total of outflows to 126 million. So interesting that it's that high at 126 million for the year to date, right? Imagine where Ethereum would be if that 126 million was still in there. But you also got to realize that some of that money was the whales going to Bitcoin and coming back. Meanwhile, altcoin, excluding Ethereum's and multiple asset funds, this is the important part, stayed resilient and recorded inflows of 6 million and 5 million respectively. Now that's a big difference between the Bitcoin 131 million that had left, because that, what is that, 2.5%, 3% max? Well, 6 and 11% living at that. So we're looking at 10, so 12%. So we got 12% of the outflow to go into altcoins, right? And you really want to see at that point is more something like at least 45 to 50%. So there's an issue here, right? Meaning that people who are the investors don't see enough money or volume coming here, that they're sitting on the sidelines. So breaking down the funds by assets, Solana led the way with 3.7 million in inflows, but that's also down from 8 million the week before, right? So there's a decline. You know, they always say look for the higher highs, higher lows. Well, that's a lower high with a lower high coming, right? 8.2 million this week before bringing its year-to-date inflows to 107 million. So when you look at a total of a year-to-date, 10%, or what are we at, 8%, 7% of its total yearly, I mean, that's low. We want it more in the 20s or 30s. Funds focused on Cardano saw 1 million in inflows in total. So how crazy is that when you could see these numbers, 8.2 million for Solana and only 1 million for Cardano. 600,000 flowed into Litecoin. Litecoin always seems to get funds in it. Like no matter what happens, it always has something out there. The outflows were broad among providers, as both European and American-based funds booked outflows, with American providers representing 61% of the outflows. Guys, when I tell you that, focus on what we have in America. This is why we have to stick together, make decisions together, and become like a civilian hedge fund. We control the cryptocurrency market in America. We can push our agenda onto the crypto blockchain world that we have. And this is why when Coinbase has elected to make an IPO and then force everyone to give up information, IDs, names, and where you're sending it, this is why we should hashtag leave Coinbase. Because if Americans who control 61% of the outflows, and obviously a huger amount of everything that's happening inside of crypto, we should be basically boycotting Coinbase and setting an example that a giant, you know, the first ones who decide to get rid of our decentralization or to allow a structure brought in by representatives that we just don't agree with, or how they're taxing us, or what they want to do to our crypto, you know, technology, and the way they're standing against us. We need to stand foot right now. And if you're in Coinbase, we need to leave Coinbase immediately. Go to crypto.com, go to Kraken, go to KuCoin, learn how to use a cold storage wallet. But we need to set an example, and everyone needs to share the hashtag leave Coinbase. Because when you take down Coinbase with a straight, strong right hand, they will know why, right? Hashtag leave Coinbase. Because they decided to cater to, you know, the SEC and all the government positions to force the way they want to design this new digital asset, and force you to pay an ungodly amount of money because you're winning, right? If the banks were leading crypto, if the banks and the hedge funds were the ones who were, if people never got into crypto, and the banks were able to launch crypto in 2025 like they planned the entire time, and then you had to basically accept cryptocurrency as their new form of digital money, believe me, there would be no 30 to 40% taxes on cryptocurrency. It'd be like 1 or 2% because the banks are in control. Because you, the people, are getting the money they're taking 30% of it. First of all, they have the undigital world, right? Which is basically everything that we pay for normally: movies, food, gas, all the taxes that we have in the undigital world. We're already paying a ton of taxes. So now that we're using our money in the digital world, why are we paying taxes there? Right? Don't we pay taxes on everything else? Like, how much do they want of the taxes? Right? And if they say, well, you're not spending money elsewhere, so we're losing tax money. Well, isn't that like 7, 8, 9, 7%, 3%, 4%? Why are you asking for 30? It's because the people that we have put in charge, that we voted in, you guys keep forgetting, America is a company. We are the owners of this company. And we elect people into positions to look into our best interests. And the way that they're coming at crypto and asking, basically robbing us and strong arming us, is not in our best interest. So you need to stand together at this moment and hashtag leave Coinbase, right? Make a stand. Share that. We need to create that. Now, getting back to where we're at here, 61% of the outflows are Americans, right? Funds managed by ProShares ETC Group took the biggest hit with an outflow of 64.5 million and 45 million respectively. Investment products that manage the blockchain related stocks in their portfolio remained strong and totaled 32 million in inflows. So listen to this. Investment products that managed blockchain related stocks in their portfolio remained strong and totaled 32 million. So out of the 130 million, they had 8 million go into altcoins, right? No, actually, let's take a look at these numbers because it's very interesting. So 132 million left Bitcoin, 15 million left Ethereum. Altcoins had multiple altcoins had 8 million come in. Cardano won, it's about 15 million in. But the interesting part here is 32 million of that went into the stocks that are doing the blockchain related stocks, right? So meaning that those are the people who still want to be in crypto, but they don't know how it's going to react due to regulation. So what they did was took their money and went into the investment portfolios, the ETFs that these companies are creating for them to invest with them, because they feel it's, those are baby boomers. They feel it's safer to bet with the banks and the hedge funds because they're looking after their money. So this is where we're losing the battle. The entire purpose of blockchain technology was to go peer to peer. So we have to stay focused on that. We have to speak that every day. We have to talk about it. We need to form a society like the crypto society where we have a very simple thing: peer to peer engagement, taxes under 3%, and we need to stand basically firm with, we don't need to verify all your information in order to use cryptocurrency. And the very first company we take down is Coinbase. And as soon as we take down Coinbase, believe me, they'll recognize that we are in control of this and they will back up, right? But that's what's going on in the crypto world, guys. Now, the thing I wanted to add here was very interesting. Obviously, if you take the time to think about it, there's no tax money coming in. There's no stimulus checks coming in. So you're not going to have your January, February, and March that you had last year, because the unemployment checks of 24, 28, $3,000 a month, for 16, 12, $2,400 a month doesn't exist anymore. People are just sitting at home getting a free check. So when you take all that money away, that's why you didn't see the inflow in January, February, March. Now the investors came in on their normal cycle at the end of March and they did their investing, but there wasn't an influctuation of other currency coming in, so they didn't see enough money to make any other decisions. So once Bitcoin hit 48,000, they took their normal 30% profit, but because there was not additional money pushing on Bitcoin, they decided to put their money, with all the uncertainty and everything else around Bitcoin, into stocks and some altcoins. Now the good news is they still went into altcoins. So which means we can have an altcoin season, but it's going to be a very small altcoin season, it seems like, unless there's some type of volume of money. Now, that moves us to the CPI, which is happening today within 3 hours. Is East Coast, actually, what we at, 8:39, so actually 2 hours. Within 2 hours, what is the inflation going to be? Is it above 7.5, which it probably is with gas being as much money, which is going to slow down this entire market. Now, the weirdest thing to me that I'm going to close out with food for thought. So the food for thought would be this. The ultimate thing that they want to accomplish, and this happens every time they want to do a hostile takeover, is they want to strangle a market down to its lowest part. First thing they want to do is scare all the investors out of investing, which I think they're doing. The second part is to create some type of scenario where there's not that much money for people to invest or get into. And it seems like with food shortage, gasoline really high, inflation going through the roof, and all these extras, they have a double-edged sword here. Not only are they scaring everyone to death to not get in, but I don't think there's many people who can afford to get in because there's no income tax, there's no unemployment money, there's no checks that they send out. I mean, I don't think the people could get in if they really wanted to get in. You know, I think that they have come to a point where, the people who didn't listen about crypto or how to invest in crypto or where to put their money or how to hold it or do anything. I mean, the stock exchange was built for one thing, and it was built to take retailers' money. And it seems that the cryptocurrency world was built and designed, and they were able to execute the same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin touches 39,000, and then right when everyone's like inflation is coming, there's outflows everywhere, everyone's scared to death, and you think that cryptocurrency is going to crash, is right when they just start investing. And you're so stunned and worried about it that it continues to just go and go and go. And by the time you say to yourself, man, maybe this is going, it'll just keep going and keep going. And then most people will get left behind because they won't have the opportunity to get back in. And that is a well-played game of chess. Now, a lot of ways to get ahead. You need a Dior, figure out what you're doing, but follow the channel. We're going to be bringing you insight on what you can think about because you have to Dior and do your own research, but giving you food for thought on the Crypto News Network on what you can do. There are a lot of options that we actually use here to create more income than most, and we'll be doing a series on that to kind of assist the people who didn't get a chance to really take advantage of the scenario. But there are scenarios of staking pools to put you in a situation where your money could get substantially higher returns. So all hope is not lost because it is still so early, but tokenization of all stocks into the cryptocurrency world is coming. XLM sat down with the stock portfolios, and they're going to be bringing every single stock onto the blockchain technology using the Stellar platform, which is what it was built for. And then you're going to wake up one day and the top 300 coins are going to be things that you already know, like Walmart, Nike, Amazon, and all these other companies, right? And then all these other coins that were supposed to be in that top 200-300 that use that for marketing, and the only way that they get exposure will not have that exposure anymore. If they fail to market, then they will fail to exist. But that's just food for thought. Comment on the bottom. Tell me what you think that's going to happen. I think they're going to bounce off here, and they're probably there's a 70%, 80% chance that it's going to run after this because there is no money for retail investors to get in, and they're already scared to get in. And the tails of every way it's set up is just made for retail investors to be too afraid and too weary to get in and don't have the ability to get in. Leave the comment down below. Tell me what you think, and let's discuss this and see what we can do. Other than that, thanks for joining me on the Crypto News Network. Look forward to seeing the comments and responding. We do have a VIP Discord where we do teaching and trading and stuff like that, where you can learn other avenues as well. That is also, you can look at the link tree in between our comments. But other than that, good luck, guys. Dior, and always do your due diligence to get ahead for yourself, your family, but focus on what's happening out here, because it does seem that this trend in cryptocurrency is being adopted way faster than anyone could imagine, which means it could close out for retail investors very quickly. And that would be a shame.
Close your eyes. So beautiful.